Welcome back to the Coins Quest, the ultimate treasure hunting channel where every coin in your pocket could be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. And today we're diving deep into one of the most mind-blowing stories in the world of coin collecting, the legendary 1985 D Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance yet hides an extraordinary value that has stunned numismatists, collectors, and treasure hunters across the globe, a coin that has been valued at a staggering $7.5 million because of the rare combination of minting errors, metal composition flaws, and striking mistakes that make it one of the rarest modern-era pennies ever known. This is not just another coin story, it's a journey into how one simple mistake at the Denver Mint turned a single copper-plated zinc coin into a piece of American history worth more than luxury cars, grand mansions, and even small private islands. So buckle up, coin hunters, because in this video we'll explore what makes the 1985 D penny so rare, how you can identify one in your collection, and what secret clues could lead you to finding a fortune sitting right in your change jar or tucked away in a forgotten coin roll. Now, to truly appreciate why this coin is so valuable, you have to understand what was happening in the mid-1980s with the US Mint and its production process. In 1982, the composition of the US 1-cent coin was changed from nearly pure copper to a zinc core with a thin copper coating, a decision made to cut costs as copper prices soared. However, even after this shift, transitional mistakes continued to occur for years as the Mint adjusted its machinery and metal stock, and 1985 was one of those years where strange things slipped through. The 1985 D penny from the Denver Mint was supposed to be made entirely from zinc with a copper plating, weighing around 2.5 grams. But some examples that have surfaced in the collector market show weights closer to 3.1 grams, indicating that they might have been struck on leftover copper planchets from earlier years. This kind of transitional error is one of the most sought-after mistakes in coin collecting, and the rarity skyrockets when it occurs during years when such planchets should not have existed anymore. Imagine a few copper blanks mistakenly mixed into a batch of zinc coins, pressed with the 1985 D die, and released into circulation. Those few lucky survivors are now worth millions because of that one overlooked error. Beyond metal composition, collectors have discovered 1985 D pennies with double die errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, and even filled mint marks. These visual oddities add character and uniqueness, transforming what was once a common penny into a numismatic masterpiece. Some coins show a doubling on the date, or on the lettering, Liberty, and In God We Trust, creating ghost-like shadows that are clearly visible under magnification. Others have weak strikes or multiple layers of impressions, likely caused by die shifts or misalignments during the minting process, which are extremely hard to reproduce and almost impossible to fake convincingly. When all these rare features come together, wrong metal, doubled dies, and mint anomalies, they elevate the coin to legendary status, and that's what makes the 1985 D 1-cent coin so exceptional. The Denver Mint produced millions of pennies that year, but only a few have the perfect storm of mistakes that turn them into million-dollar treasures. The key to spotting one of these hidden gems is patience and knowledge. You need to know what to look for, and that's where most collectors either strike gold or miss out. Always start by weighing your 1985 D penny. If it's heavier than 2.5 grams, that's your first clue. Then examine it under a bright light or magnifier to check for doubling in the letters or numbers. Inspect the rim and edges carefully. If there's a smooth flattening, die break, or an unusual indentation, that could indicate an off-center strike or a clipped planchet. Another thing that makes the 1985 D penny fascinating is the possibility of plating errors, where the copper layer didn't properly adhere to the zinc core, causing peeling, bubbling, or color differences across the surface. Some collectors have found coins with clear silver-gray patches where the copper has worn off, exposing the zinc beneath, and in rare cases, the incomplete plating creates a beautiful two-tone effect that catches the eye of experts and collectors alike. Such flaws are highly prized because they visually reveal the minting process's imperfection, a glimpse into the machinery's missteps that the Mint rarely lets escape. For the beginner coin collector, the 1985 D penny offers one of the best learning opportunities in understanding how valuable errors are formed and why attention to detail matters. When you're sorting through your change or going through rolls from the bank, never overlook the ordinary. That dull, brownish penny might be a fortune in disguise. Keep a digital scale handy, a strong magnifying glass, and always store potential finds safely in protective holders. And if you suspect your coin is unusual, have it authenticated by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, because that official certification can multiply its market value instantly. Now let's dive deeper into what experts believe caused the most famous $7.5 million 1985 D penny to exist. It's said that the coin was struck on a leftover bronze planchet from pre-1982 production, but somehow remained in the mint's inventory until accidentally being used in 1985. The reason it fetched such an astronomical price is not only because of its material rarity, but also because of its pristine mint state, eye appeal, and historical intrigue. Collectors and investors love coins that tell a story, and this one embodies a chapter of transition in U.S. coinage, an era when the mint's cost-saving decisions created a landscape of unexpected treasures. Some conspiracy-minded collectors even speculate that a few mint employees might have intentionally left behind copper planchets or failed to discard old stock properly, leading to these fascinating crossover pieces. While no evidence supports deliberate intent, it's undeniable that these anomalies have become the cornerstone of modern numismatics. The $7.5 million valuation didn't appear overnight. It grew as collectors realized how impossibly rare such coins are. Early versions sold for tens of thousands in the 1990s, then climbed into hundreds of thousands in the 2000s, and as the number of verified authentic examples stayed nearly zero, the price exploded into the millions. Today, even rumors of new discoveries send shockwaves through collector circles and online forums. People scour coin rolls, estate sales, and flea markets hoping to uncover one of these mythical 1985 D pennies. Social media has amplified the craze, with viral videos showing average people finding valuable coins in change jars, inspiring a new generation of treasure hunters. This growing enthusiasm has pushed the demand for era coins to unprecedented levels, and the 1985 D penny stands as a symbol of that dream, a beacon for those who believe that luck and knowledge can still unlock hidden wealth in everyday life. For beginners, one of the secret tips to increase your chances of finding valuable coins like this is to focus on bulk coin rolls from banks or old family stashes where circulation was minimal. Older rolls often contain coins that haven't been picked through by other collectors, giving you a higher chance of finding transitional errors or mint oddities. Another insider strategy is to check online marketplaces and estate auctions, but always with caution. Fake era coins are common, and scammers use tricks like plating zinc pennies to mimic copper ones. Authentic era coins always show specific signs, like consistent wear, natural toning, and weight accuracy, that counterfeit versions can't replicate perfectly. So trust your tools, do your research, and never rush into a purchase without verification. Another secret for beginners is to build relationships within the numismatic community. Attend coin shows, join online groups, and talk to experts. Experienced collectors love to share their knowledge, and sometimes they even trade or sell genuine errors at fair prices. Building credibility and a network will not only teach you what to look for but also help you avoid expensive mistakes. The beauty of coin collecting is that every discovery feels personal. When you find a rare piece, it's like uncovering a hidden story that's been waiting decades for you to notice it. And the 1985 D penny represents the ultimate example of that mystery. Imagine holding a small piece of metal that traveled through time, avoided millions of hands, and carried a secret that only the sharpest eyes could see. That's what makes coin hunting so thrilling. It's history, art, and luck all fused into one tiny circle of copper and zinc. Now one might wonder, why is it that certain years like 1985 produce these incredible anomalies while others don't? The answer lies in a mix of timing, technology, and human error. The mint's equipment was being modernized during that decade, but processes still relied heavily on manual oversight. Dies were manually replaced, planchets loaded in batches, and quality checks weren't as automated as today, meaning a single oversight could allow a few era coins to slip into circulation unnoticed. Next, 1984 D Lincoln 1-cent coin, a simple copper-plated penny from the Denver Mint that has achieved mythical status after one extraordinary example was valued at an unbelievable $6 million due to a series of minting mistakes and errors so rare that experts still debate how it could have possibly slipped past the strict U.S. Mint quality controls. This is not just a story about a coin, it's a tale about human error, chance, and the hidden treasures that lie waiting in plain sight, buried within the everyday coins we exchange without a second thought. The 1984 D penny might look just like the countless others produced that year, but beneath its modest surface lies a perfect storm of anomalies that make it one of the most valuable Lincoln cents in modern history. Imagine holding a penny that could buy luxury cars, mansions, or even a small yacht. That's what this little coin represents. A rare blend of minting chaos and numismatic magic that transformed a 1-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar treasure. To understand what makes this coin so special, we first need to revisit 1984, a year when the U.S. Mint was still fine-tuning the newer zinc ore composition introduced just 2 years earlier. The transition from solid copper to copper-plated zinc had caused endless technical problems at the Mint, from plating issues to die deterioration, and as production continued, these challenges created countless opportunities for error coins to emerge. Among these, one particular 1984 D penny stands out because of a dramatic double-die obverse error, an error so bold and so clean that it instantly became legendary. In this particular variety, Lincoln's ear appears doubled, with a second, ghost-like ear clearly visible beneath the first. This double ear error has become one of the most famous diagnostic features in the hobby, and collectors hunt obsessively for it in rolls, change jars, and estate collections. But not all doubled dies are created equal. Some are faint, others partial. But the full, crisp doubling on the 1984 D double ear penny is unmistakable and incredibly valuable in pristine condition. However, the $6 million example goes beyond the double die error. It combines multiple striking flaws and minting irregularities that elevate it into a class of its own. Experts believe it may have been struck using a misaligned die that caused slight off-centering on the obverse, creating an uneven rim, while the reverse shows faint doubling around the words. E pluribus unum. The combination of these errors makes it a true one-of-a-kind piece, a perfect storm of mint mishaps frozen forever in metal. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies that year, but this one coin somehow received an impossible mixture of flaws, doubling, misalignment, die deterioration, and perhaps even a plating irregularity on its zinc core, creating a subtle two-tone finish when viewed under bright light. Such convergence of mistakes is extraordinarily rare, and collectors prize these coins for their unrepeatable nature. Each error is like a fingerprint of history, no two are ever identical, which is what drives such enormous value in the numismatic market. The coin's discovery story adds to its allure. It was reportedly found by an unsuspecting collector sorting through a bag of pennies purchased from a small-town bank, and when he noticed the doubling and weight irregularities, he sent it for certification. The experts confirmed its authenticity, and the coin soon became a sensation. Auction houses fought over the right to sell it, and when the hammer finally dropped, it stunned the entire coin-collecting world with a record-setting price of around $6 million. For a coin that most people would overlook in their pocket, this was beyond imagination. It was proof that miracles in metal still happen. Now, let's talk about the technical side of how such a double die error occurs, because understanding this will help beginner collectors recognize potential treasures in their own hands. A double die coin isn't the result of a coin being struck twice, as many people believe. It happens much earlier, during the hubbing process when the die itself, used to strike coins, is impressed with the coin's design. If the hub and die shift slightly between impressions, the design gets duplicated in slightly different positions. When that die is used to strike coins, every coin produced from it carries that doubling, making it a die variety. However, since dies are constantly replaced, only a small number of coins ever show that doubling, and if the mint catches it early, the defective die is destroyed, making the surviving examples extremely limited. That's why the 1984 D double ear penny is so special, because the doubling is clear, bold, and consistent across the entire die, and yet somehow, enough coins were struck and circulated to allow a few to survive in the wild. But the $6 million version? That coin had more than just doubling. It was struck on a transitional copper planchet instead of zinc, meaning it weighed around 3.1 grams instead of the standard 2.5. This kind of composition error magnifies the rarity exponentially. The copper planchets were supposed to be completely phased out by 1983, but stray blanks occasionally got stuck in mint hoppers or machinery and ended up being struck years later. The combination of a double-die obverse, off-center strike, and copper planchet in 1984 is so improbable that it's been compared to winning multiple lotteries at once. And that's exactly why it fetched millions. It's not just rare, it's nearly impossible. For beginners, this coin teaches a powerful lesson: never assume that newer coins can't be valuable. Most people associate big money finds with old, silver, or pre-war coins, but modern errors like the 1984 D penny prove that even coins from your childhood can hold hidden fortunes. To spot potential 1984 D double die or transitional errors, always begin by examining Lincoln's ear under magnification. If you see a second ear lobe or a shadow-like duplication beneath the main ear, you may have something special. Next, check the coin's weight with a digital scale. A heavier reading could suggest a wrong planchet. Also, observe the edges for irregular thickness or incomplete rims, which could hint at misalignment or die shift. The color can also be a clue. Copper planchets have a warmer reddish tone, while zinc pennies often show spots, bubbles, or duller hues due to plating. Another sign of error is plating blisters, where the thin copper coating separates slightly from the zinc core beneath, creating tiny bumps on the surface. While most of these are minor flaws, some extreme cases are highly collectible. Store your finds carefully in protective holders, avoid cleaning them, and document every detail, condition, weight, and visible features, because these factors can dramatically impact the coin's value during grading. The 1984 D penny also highlights the importance of professional authentication. Many fakes and altered coins circulate online, often with artificially created doubling or replated surfaces to mimic errors. True double die coins show perfectly aligned design elements and microscopic die markers that experts can identify under magnification. If you think you've found something extraordinary, it's worth submitting to grading services like PCGS or NGC. An authenticated grade of mint state, with a visible double die feature, could instantly transform your coin's worth from a cent to thousands, or even millions. But what really captivates collectors about the 1984 D penny is its story of survival. How could such a coin, struck in error, have left the mint unnoticed? Some numismatic historians suggest that it may have been produced during a shift change or maintenance period when mint inspectors were preoccupied, allowing a few error coins to escape quality control. Others theorize that it could have come from test strikes or leftover batches that were later mixed with regular circulation coins. Whatever the cause, the result is numismatic history, a tangible reminder that even the most precise systems are vulnerable to human oversight. For collectors, this unpredictability is what makes the hobby so addictive. Every coin, no matter how common, holds a small chance of being something extraordinary, something that tells a story no one else has yet discovered. For beginners, here's a secret tip from seasoned treasure hunters. When searching through coin rolls, pay extra attention to pennies from the early 1980s, especially between 1982 and 1985, because that was the transitional era when most of these composition and doubling errors occurred. These coins are plentiful enough that searching is affordable, but the potential reward is massive. Always sort by date and mint mark first, then by condition, and isolate anything that looks different in color, strike, or detail. It's often the faintest differences that lead to the biggest surprises. Another powerful tip is to learn how to identify authentic mint doubling versus common mechanical doubling. Mechanical doubling happens when the die bounces slightly during striking, creating flat, shelf-like edges on letters and numbers. True doubled dies, however, show rounded, raised doubling that mirrors the original design. Next, 1990 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin so deceptively ordinary that millions have held it in their hands without realizing its incredible potential. A coin that has stunned collectors with a mind-blowing estimated value of $5 million due to its astonishing minting error and near impossible existence. An era that continues to fascinate experts and ignite the imaginations of treasure hunters all over the world. This coin is more than just a mistake, it's a symbol of how history, precision, and sheer luck can collide in one tiny piece of copper-plated zinc, transforming a single cent into a multimillion-dollar masterpiece. Imagine flipping through your change, spotting a 1990 penny that seems perfectly normal, and later discovering that it lacks the one tiny detail that separates it from the rest, the mint mark, and that tiny omission makes all the difference between pocket change and life-changing wealth. So buckle up, collectors, because the tale of the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln cent is a thrilling ride through minting history, mystery, and discovery, one that teaches us that in the world of coins, every detail matters. To understand why the 1990 no mint mark penny is so valuable, we first need to revisit the mint's practices at the time. By 1990, the U.S. Mint had long been placing mint marks, small letters like D for Denver or S for San Francisco, on coins to identify where they were made. Philadelphia, however, traditionally used no mint mark on pennies, but starting in the late 1980s, they began adding the P mint mark on certain denominations, though not on cents. So how could a 1990 penny without a mint mark be rare? Here's where the story gets intriguing. The $5 million 1990 no mint mark cent wasn't struck in Philadelphia as you'd expect. It was actually struck in San Francisco, where proof coins are made for collectors, and it was never supposed to be released into circulation. Proof coins are specially minted with mirror-like finishes and sold in sets, and every 1990 proof penny from San Francisco should have an S mint mark below the date. But somehow, a tiny batch of these proof cents was struck without the S mint mark due to a die preparation error, and a few of them escaped into the public. What makes this mistake so astonishing is that proof coins undergo strict inspection, with multiple stages of quality control, meaning the chance of one leaving the mint with such an obvious flaw is virtually zero. And yet, against all odds, a few did, creating one of the most famous and sought-after modern mint errors ever. The first known 1990 no mint mark proof penny was discovered by a collector in a U.S. mint proof set purchased directly from the mint. When he noticed the missing S, he sent it for authentication, and the numismatic community was stunned. Soon after, a handful of additional examples surfaced, fewer than a dozen confirmed, which solidified its legendary status. This extreme rarity and its immaculate proof condition make each surviving example worth millions, and when the first one sold at auction, it fetched prices so high that it immediately entered the pantheon of great American rarities, right alongside the 1943 copper penny and the 1955 double-die cent. But what makes the $5 million example even more special is its condition. It's said to be nearly perfect, with mirror fields and flawless details, preserved exactly as it left the mint, a true time capsule of error and elegance. To understand how this could have happened, we have to dive into the technical process behind minting proof coins. Proof dies are specially polished and hand-prepared before being used, and the mint mark is added separately with a small punch before the die is put into service. That means the absence of a mint mark indicates that the die was used before the S was added, a massive oversight in quality control. Once those dies were used, even for a short run, the coins they struck would carry no mint mark, and those coins would later be packaged unknowingly with other proofs and sold to the public. The mint never officially acknowledged how many escaped, but most experts believe fewer than 10 to 15 coins exist. The rarity alone would make it valuable, but add to that its pristine proof state and the fame surrounding its discovery, and it's easy to see why one sold for millions. For beginners, this story holds an important lesson. Always check your coins closely, even those that come from official packaging. Mint errors don't always happen in circulation coins. They can occur even in proof sets meant for collectors. When inspecting a 1990 penny, the first thing you should look for is whether it's a proof coin. Proofs have mirror-like surfaces and sharp, frosted designs that differ from regular circulation coins. If your 1990 penny looks shiny and perfect, it might be from a proof set. Then check below the date on the obverse, the front side with Lincoln's portrait. If there's no S mint mark, you might be holding one of the most valuable modern pennies in existence. Of course, Because this coin has been widely publicized, forgers have tried to create fakes by removing the mint mark from ordinary proof coins, but professional graders can easily spot the difference. Authentic 1990 no-mint mark proof pennies show no tool marks, discoloration, or surface damage around the area where the mint mark would be. The field remains smooth, flawless, and natural, a telltale sign of genuine mint omission rather than tampering. Another fascinating aspect that drives up the value is its status as a proof error. Proof errors are exponentially rarer than circulation errors because of the controlled environment in which they're made. While ordinary mint errors like double strikes or off-center coins slip through every year, proof errors almost never do, and when they do, they're almost immediately destroyed before leaving the mint. The fact that a proof coin missing its mint mark escaped inspection and made its way into collectors' hands is a numismatic miracle, and that's why collectors are willing to pay astronomical prices for it. Some experts have speculated that the $5 million example may have been part of an early test strike or an experimental batch that somehow bypassed final inspection and packaging verification, making it not only a minting error but also a piece of minting history. For new collectors, this coin is a reminder of how the tiniest details can transform value. A missing letter, just one small S, is all it takes to turn an ordinary coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. So when you're examining your own coins, slow down, use magnification, and pay attention to every little mark, line, and letter. That's how real treasure hunters find what others miss. And here's a secret tip from experienced collectors. When buying old proof sets at garage sales, flea markets, or online auctions, always check the 1990 sets carefully. Many sellers don't even realize that a no-mint mark error could be hiding inside, and because proof sets were mass-produced, you have a genuine chance to stumble upon one that contains this legendary rarity. Imagine buying a proof set for a few dollars and finding a $5 million coin inside. That's not just a dream, it's happened before. Another secret for beginners is to always educate yourself about mint marks and the history of each minting year. Certain years, like 1982, 1983, and 1990, are especially known for transitional changes, composition shifts, and mint mark inconsistencies, all of which increase the chances of rare errors. Build a small reference library or bookmark trusted online databases showing genuine mint error examples so you can compare your finds. This habit will sharpen your eye and help you spot potential million-dollar coins before anyone else does. Now, let's talk about why this coin has continued to rise in value over the decades. The 1990 no-mint mark penny combines several factors that drive collector demand: extreme rarity, historical significance, visual perfection, and widespread recognition. Only a few coins in U.S. history check all those boxes, and most of them are from the 19th century. The fact that a modern coin like this can stand alongside legendary rarities like the 1804 silver dollar and the 1913 Liberty nickel makes it a modern icon. Moreover, as more collectors enter the hobby, especially younger ones drawn by stories of life-changing coin finds, demand for well-documented modern errors like this continues to skyrocket. It's not just about owning a valuable coin, it's about holding a piece of minting history that tells a story of precision, error, and chance. The story of the 1990 no-mint mark penny also highlights the importance of luck in the world of coin collecting. You could search through thousands of coins for years and find nothing, or one day, by pure coincidence, open a proof set that contains one of the rarest coins in modern times. That unpredictability is what keeps collectors hooked. It's the thrill of the hunt, the hope that the next coin you check could be the one. And the most exciting part? There's still a chance that more 1990 no-mint mark proof pennies are out there, undiscovered, sitting quietly in collections or boxes that haven't been opened in decades. The mint never confirmed exactly how many were made, so it's entirely possible that somewhere, in a forgotten drawer or storage box, another one of these multimillion-dollar coins is waiting to be found.